Are you an autistic, kissless virgin who uses the word normie unironically and feels as though society has betrayed you? Me too! That's why I use the subreddit r/incels. Now you're probably wondering, Mumkey, what the fuck is an incel? And what is this subreddit all about? Well, I'm glad you asked. Allow me to take you on a guided tour of the Incel subreddit. We'll get to know the people, explore the culture, learn the philosophies, and at the end you'll be able to decide whether this subreddit is the right fit for you. Incel is a portmanteau word that combines the words involuntary and celibate. Thus, an incel is a person who is involuntarily celibate. If you're still confused, luckily there's an FAQ on the subreddit that can help us understand. What is incel? An incel is someone who tries to find romantic relationships and sex without success. The most common definition is that you have to go 6 months without a romantic partner to be considered incel. Some people on this sub think that only kissless virgins should be considered incel. Some believe an incel is someone who has been involuntarily celibate for at least 6 months. Also, if you go to a prostitute, you can still be incel because you are unable to obtain a romantic relationship or at least casual sex where the other person is genuinely enjoying it, as being incel is not just about a lack of sex. This FAQ goes on to discuss some of the more controversial topics within the incel community. For example, the question of whether or not a man can be raped.
Do you believe men can be raped? Some believe men can't be raped because sex is a good and always welcome thing for men. Others believe that men can be sexually assaulted, but that rape is the wrong term, based on the definition of rape as a PIV sex done to a woman that used to be employed by law enforcement until a few years ago. And yet others believe that of course men can be raped. Hello, it's me, the simpleton man. Ooh.
Believe it or not, this question of men getting raped doesn't even come close to being the most controversial subject among incels. That honor goes to the question of whether or not women are capable of qualifying as one.
Can women be incels? Some say no, women can't be incels. Some say in extremely rare circumstances, and others say yes, and it's more common than you think.
In response to this, one user replied,
"You're a fucking cock if you have to ask this or say maybe. Women cannot be incel. Women can get sex whenever, wherever, and however they want. Do we need to post that picture again? This FAQ just fucking sucks in its entirety."
Now that we have an idea of what an incel is, we can dive deeper into this subreddit in order to better understand the mindset of the typical incel. Posts on the incel board can range in topic from women to sex to even women having sex. The possibilities are truly limitless. Let's start with something easy like necrophilia.
Girls' bodies that die in a non-violent way should be preserved and sold as sex toys on the black market. Or actually, legally. Why not? The prices should be set according to their level of attractiveness on a scale from 1 to 10. It would not hurt anyone, unlike that creepypasta thing where the girl was still alive when her limbs were being cut off.
Much like how the Native Americans would utilize every part of the buffalo, incels are insightful enough to see how we can use every part of the human female, even after death. This truly takes recycling to a whole new level. Paper products go in the green bin, plastics go in the blue bin, and your decomposing daughter goes in the dumpster out back. She might have rigor mortis, but I'm the one who's gonna be rock hard.
Not a bad idea. I'd buy myself a 22-year-old HBB and do all sorts of kinky things to her. It's a lot better than being exploited by gold diggers when you have money. After all, the only thing women are good for is providing sexual pleasure, and they don't need to be alive for that. This will all be black market, of course, since necrophilia is illegal. This is no doubt something many normies would consider immoral or abhorrent. But for many of us incels, this is our only hope of having sex in a non-judgmental environment hookers won't provide.
One of the best things about the incel community is how supportive they are of one another. One Anon posts his idea about necrophilia, and the rest of them come out of the woodwork to support him. I tried posting a similar idea on Facebook, and all I got was angry comments, death threats, and the police showed up to my house. Those fucking normies!
This is a genius idea, but instead of 18 to 25, it should be 13 to 35. If a woman dies between 13 to 35 years and her body is still intact, it should be preserved and sold to incels as a one-time use sex doll. This could actually boost the economy a considerable amount, while also lowering the suicide rate of incels and virgin men.
Some might argue that incels are extremely self-centered, but that's just not true. This user wants to use this genius idea as a method of boosting the economy, which would benefit everybody. You know that old saying, one man's trash is another man's treasure? Well, now it should be, one family's devastating tragedy is another neckbeard's orgasm. Now you're probably wondering, Mumkey, I agree that this dead body sex doll thing is a great idea, but how often is it that young women die anyway? This concern is understandable, as there would be so few youthful corpses on the market that the prices would skyrocket and the average incel would be unable to afford a sex cadaver with just their good boy points alone. Luckily, the incels have thought of a solution to this issue of not enough young women are dying.
Girls who watch and or do pornography should be executed. What's more repulsive than a slut who takes 6 Chadcocks per day? A woman who makes money with it. What's even more disgusting? Women who film it. At least a hooker does it in private. In fact, prostitution should be legalized. Sure, it's absolutely immoral, but there are some lonely men whose only option is to sleep with an escort. But filming it and spreading promiscuity? And lust? Fuck no! What would the parents of the girl think? Porno actresses should fucking die.
What I find most interesting about this is that it's not only porn stars who need to be executed, but women who watch porn in general. According to a survey conducted by the New York Times, 71% of women watch porn at least once per month, which means that we're going to have way more sex cadavers than we could ever possibly need. But wait, there's more! As it turns out, it's not just women who watch porn who deserve death.
Unmarried, non-virgin women deserve the death penalty.
Keep in mind, all women are whores, which means that with these systems in place, literally every single woman will be killed and used as sex dolls. If this concept worries you, then just think about it like this. An incel is somebody who is involuntarily celibate, but if there are no living women left, then literally every man on Earth will be an incel. And if everybody is an incel, then nobody is an incel. This is the only method of true equality worldwide. once women are out of the picture, then men will no longer have to compete for the attention of those deplorable succubi. Society will be able to flourish like never before. And if men ever become distracted by their sexual urges, then they can just fuck their sex cadaver for a couple minutes and then be good as new. Men everywhere, I urge you to join the incel community and to study their teachings so that we can move society in the right direction. We can achieve this vision of the future so easily, but it's up to all of you to take the first step. I want to give a special thank you to all of the names on the screen right here. These are the people who provided their voice for this video to help me out. So thanks a lot to these guys. Go subscribe to them or whatever the hell, and tell them Mumkey sent you.
No normies, no worries about posting. Cheating women. Cheating, when a woman does it, is one of the vilest acts she can do. No matter how little or how big, cheating girls should be executed. No hesitation. Once proved her infidelity, she should be killed.
I completely agree. If a woman cheats on her incel husband, she must be executed immediately. If she cheats on a normie/Chad, that's completely fine. They were asking for it anyways. Cheating is one of the most heinous crimes known to man. Execution is necessary in treating these heathens. They will not make the same mistake twice.
I also feel that when the wife of an incel denies him sex, it should be considered as a crime. Unless it's in special circumstances, like coma, cancer, or the night one close relative passed away. However, not of that I'm too tired bullcrap. Her obligation as a wife is to provide sex. Thus, not doing it should result in a punish. 6 to 18 months in prison should work, on solitary confinement of course, and having her husband visiting her 3 to 4 times a week for sex.